Hello hook loopers, welcome to my crochet channel. I'm Sarah. Today I'm back with a new Tunisian stitch. I have called it the Tunisian Wheat Stitch because this ribbed texture reminds me of a field of wheat, a wheat field. I've also seen it as Tunisian braided stitch or Tunisian braid stitch. It is extremely simple because it only uses two basic Tunisian stitches we already know, that is to say the Tunisian Simple Stitch and the Tunisian Full Stitch, and it is worked in a multiple of 4 plus 1 stitches. But as you can see, it produces a one-of-a-kind, beautiful ribbed pattern. So let's begin. So here I have started, as is often the case, with a standard foundation row in Tunisian crochet of 9 stitches, so a very short chain, but just for the sake of showing you the pattern, it's absolutely acceptable. As usual, I will leave all useful links to the basics of Tunisian crochet I'm using in this video, both in the description below and in the top right hand corner of this video. So let's begin. As I said, first loop on the hook already counts as stitch number 1. Now we will begin with a Tunisian full stitch in the first space between the 2 vertical bars at the beginning. So right here, right between these 2 vertical bars, this one and this one. So we insert the hook in this space here, under the vertical bar, under the horizontal bar, and between vertical bars, from front to back, we yarn over and drop a loop. You see? Then we will continue with a Tunisian simple stitch that is done by inserting the hook under the next vertical bar, this one, from right to left. Then we yarn over, pull through and drop another loop. And we will proceed like this, alternating full stitch and simple stitch. And of course we will end up with a lot more stitches than the number we have initially chained. So now we will proceed with a full stitch right here, followed by a Tunisian simple stitch under the next vertical bar. So full stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, simple stitch, full, simple, full, simple, full, simple, full, and we will finish our forward pass with a so-called neat closing stitch that is done by inserting the hook under both the front vertical bar and the back bar, the back vertical bar of that last border stitch. So here and here, can you see it? Yarn over, pull through and drop a final loop on the hook. As you see, we have far more than 9 stitches on the hook. We have 17. And now we will proceed with a particular return pass that is different for this stitch, and it's done like this. So we begin with a yarn over and we pull through 1 stitch only first. This is what we usually do in a standard return pass, so this is the same. Then we yarn over again and pull through 4 loops together at the same time. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, okay, creating a cluster of 3 underneath. Now we yarn over and pull through 2 loops together. Then we yarn over and pull through 4 loops together, like this. Then again, yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, then yarn over and pull through 4 loops together, paying attention. Again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 4, alternating between a pull through 2 and a pull through 4 until the end of the row. Here I am at the end of the row. I have 2 loops on the hook. I will yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and this was row 2 if we consider the foundation row as row number 1. Okay, so now row number 3 is the repetition row. We will proceed with this row for as long as we need to, for as long as our project is, and it's done like this. Again, we will alternate between Tunisian Full Stitch and Tunisian Simple Stitch like this. So just like before, we will begin with the Tunisian Full Stitch that is done right here between the first 2 vertical bars, full stitch. Now a Tunisian Simple Stitch. Now, if you can see here, with our previous return pass, when we yarn over and pull through 4 stitches together, we produced these tiny clusters of 3 stitches. Okay, so now we will make our next Tunisian Simple Stitch by going with our hook under all 3 of those stitches that create the cluster of 3. Okay, like this. And then we yarn over, pull through all 3 of them, and make a Tunisian Simple Stitch. Now again, Tunisian Full Stitch will be done between the stitch we have just created and the next one. So in this space here, full stitch. Now we come across this single vertical bar here, and we will work a Tunisian Simple Stitch under it, like this. Okay, followed by, again, a Tunisian Full Stitch. Now we come across one of those clusters of 3, and we will work a simple stitch under it, like this. Followed by a Tunisian Full Stitch. Now a Tunisian Simple Stitch under the next single vertical bar. Again, full stitch. Now a Tunisian Simple Stitch under the cluster of 3. Okay, followed by a full stitch, then simple stitch under the next vertical bar, full stitch, then we have one final cluster of 3, so we will work a Tunisian Simple Stitch under it, and don't forget a last full stitch right after that tiny cluster, full stitch, finishing with our usual neat closing stitch. Okay, and we should end up with the same number of stitches we had in the previous row. Okay, and now we will proceed with a return pass just like the one we have just done, and this will be the same throughout the project. So we yarn over and pull through 1 loop only first, then we yarn over and pull through 4 loops together like this, yarn over and pull through 2 loops together, yarn over and pull through 4 loops together, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 4, yarn over and pull through 2, and so on, pull through 4, finishing with a pull through 2. And here you can already see how our pattern is unfolding with these kind of nice tresses. You can see there. And this is the pattern basically. You will repeat what you have done in the last row. So again, you will begin with a full stitch between the first two vertical bars, followed by a simple stitch under the cluster, followed by a full stitch between the cluster and the next vertical bar, then simple stitch under the single vertical bar, then full stitch, then we have a cluster, so Tunisian Simple Stitch, and so on and so forth as long as you wish to. I must say I am in love with this stitch. I really love it. I find it really beautiful, neat, similar to knitting in a way. It does not curl, as you see, so this is another benefit of this beautiful stitch. And this is it for today. So thank you for watching as usual, and see you next time with something beautiful in Tunisian crochet. Bye bye!